engagement. A metric so important for every single chatbot builder. I mean, traditionally, chatbot usually take text as an input and output text as a response to help the customers or the users to find what they're looking for and solve their problems. But the problem is that text can sometimes feel a little bit boring and robotic, especially if it's a large chunk of text. So what are some ways that we can actually increase the engagement and retention rates of customers when using chatbots? Well, we somehow need to make the outputs a little bit more interesting, and one of the ways to do that is actually through GIFs. I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I find myself in very tense or difficult conversations, usually just dropping a very funny GIF usually just does the trick of diffusing the whole situation and conversation. So my challenge for you today is, can you, using Make.com and Voiceflow, build a very simple system that's able to take the user's input and output a corresponding GIF. Now go ahead, try it out yourself, and if you feel stuck or if you think you found a solution, continue with this video. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so we are at Voiceflow. So as I said, we basically want to capture a user's input and then output a corresponding GIF. Should be quite a simple build, but just want to show you very quickly that it can be done extremely fast in basically 10 minutes. So let's just start with a very simple greeting message. I mean, we don't really need this, but just to make it nice in general. So we'll just start off by saying this. Hey, tell me something. And then just basically use a caption node to capture the user's reply to last utterance, right? This is where the user would type whatever topic that he wants to talk about. And then now we actually want to generate a GIF. And the whole design of the process, if you haven't figured this out already, is we use Make.com. So we send a API request to Make.com, and using Make.com workflow to somehow generate that GIF and then send it back into Voiceflow and to the Voiceflow interface and output the corresponding GIF, right? That's the umbrella design flow of what we're trying to do. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and do the API request. And because, let me just move myself. And because we're trying to post data into the Make.com, right? Because we have a variable already. We want to put the user's input into Make.com. So we're trying to do a post API request. Now, this is where we need a webhook, right? So if we go to Make.com, and now we just need a webhook, custom webhook. Create a webhook. And I'm just call this GIF dump, right? Now let me just copy that address, this URL, right, into the API block within Voiceflow. If I just do it in here, and for headers, I'm just going to type. You should probably know this by now by doing API requests. If you don't know how to do API requests, I highly recommend you to watch my 1-hour lead capture tutorial where I explain in detail how to do API requests in Voiceflow. So I'm just going to do content type, and value would be application JSON, right? Now, we basically need the input parameters, right? Which is, let's call this input, and the value would be last utterance, right? That's basically what Make.com will read as the input of the user, right? And we want a response back, right? We want basically the corresponding GIF back into Voiceflow as an output. So we want to do capture response, and let's call this variable GIF output, right? Save the variable, let's call this GIF output, right? And now we can literally just have this post API request, and for the output to be a GIF, we literally just use the card block within Voiceflow. And for the link, we just want a variable which is GIF output, right? Which is the variable that we've already basically defined in capture response. So what it's going to do now is it's going to send an API request with these kind of information with the input, which is last utterance. And we want the Make.com to give us back the output, which is GIF output. And once we have the GIF output, it's going to display within this card block in Voiceflow back to the user, right? So this is just a really simple flow within Voiceflow. So the real work actually comes from Make.com. So let's head to Make.com. Right, so we have the custom webhook set up, right? So now let's actually just run this, right? And let's just run this. Let's say SpongeBob. Right, obviously it's not going to output anything because we haven't actually set up the actual workflow yet, but just to show you guys that it's been successfully run to the webhook in Make.com. And as you can see, we have this input SpongeBob, right, which is exactly what we need. Now, to actually generate the actual GIF, we actually use something called GIFy. I don't know actually how to pronounce it. I might be butchering its pronunciation, but it's fine. You get the idea. So we actually want a search GIF based on a full word or phrase of the user, right? So we just use this module. And I've already gone ahead and set up my own GIF connection. But if this is your first time, literally just click add. And if you need like basically the information needed to add the GIF connection, I will just basically use this link, right? It basically tells you how to do it. So basically just follow through this. So like you just basically need to sign up a GIF account and you click create an app button and select the API option. And you just need to select the name of the app, which is Make, and basically copy the API key that they gave you. It's very self-explanatory. I'll copy and paste this link in the description of the video so you can go along and set up your own Giphy account, okay? But it should be very self-explanatory. Now, once you've set up your own Giphy connection, you're going to select, well, obviously GIF, right? Is what we want. And the search will be based on the input of the user, which we've already set up will be the input from Voiceflow, right? And rating, well, for now, let's just put this general, right? It doesn't really matter. And then English language. And the limit is, I just want to output one, right? One GIF. We don't want to be listing out 10 GIFs, right? So let's just put the limit as 1. Click OK. Now let's actually run this again. If I move myself. And if I just run the whole workflow again, right? If I just go back and let's run this, right? All right, tell me something. SpongeBob. Nice. So the reason why I run that is because now I can actually see the output bundles within the Giphy module, right? So as you can see, you've got the type, you've got different stickers, etc. You've got a bunch of output variables that the Giphy module gives you. But what we're actually interested in is one specific variable to be outputted back in Voiceflow. So to do that, we need to set up another webhook, right? So specifically, we would need a webhook response. So we want the status 200, which means that it's successfully been sent back to Voiceflow. And for the body, we just want to format it in JSON. So with a curly bracket. And right in here, we want our variable, output variable, which we've said is GIF output, right? So GIF output. Within the quotation mark, we actually just need the URL of that generated GIF, which in this case would be, let's click downsized URL. We just drag this within the quotation mark and click OK. Now that should be it. So if I just run this again, and if I go back and just run this, right? Run. Hi, tell me something. SpongeBob. Now, as you can see, it gives back the SpongeBob GIF over here. So, which means that it's been successfully passed through this Make.com workflow and outputted back into Voiceflow. So this is a very simple build, very simple exercise that you can do this in literally 5 minutes. It's very easy build to do. Obviously, you can extend this use case. The point of this, again, this is just for demonstration purposes, right? It's not a complete build, but the whole point of this exercise to really show you that you can do little things like this to kind of help with your engagement and your retention rate of people using this chatbot. So it's a very simple feature that you can instantly implement into your chatbot. You can set it such that like it doesn't output in every single conversation, right? You can do it such that it only outputs occasionally, but just by doing this kind of occasionally, it can definitely help with the user's engagement with the chatbot. So hopefully this helps, and if you want more of these kind of simple build, like this simple exercise that I'm doing with you live, comment below, like and subscribe. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you have any specific builds that you want me to go through, comment on the video and let me know.
My name is Edwin. I'm the founder of Legacy AI, alongside my friend Champion here. That's his real name, by the way. And together we offer voice-based and text-based AI solutions, like the one you're seeing in this video, to other businesses to help them save hours and hours of time and thousands of dollars spent on manual service tasks, such as appointment scheduling, CRM integration, lead generation, etc. And if you're a business owner and you're interested to see how these AI solutions can help transform your business and improve your bottom line, follow the link in the description to book a free consultation call with us today.